Welcome to Hyperbola practice problem number 2. And just like in the last video, I would encourage you to copy down the problem. And if you're feeling up for a challenge, pause the video and see if on your own you can find the center, the vertices, the co-vertices, the foci, and the slope of the asymptotes. And then you can replay the video to check your answer, okay? Or you can work with me to try to find these together. Okay, so the first thing we're going to notice is that because I start with a y, this is going to be a vertical hyperbola, right? Y is a vertical axis, so it's a vertical hyperbola because y comes first. The other thing you're going to want to note is that I have y minus k quantity squared over a squared minus x minus h squared over b squared equals 1. And remember, no matter what, in a hyperbola, the a squared is always going to come first and go underneath that positive term. So the first thing I do is I start with the center. The center is going to be hk, and let's figure out what hk is. Hk is 0, positive 3. So my center is at 0, positive 3. And again, what I want to do is actually draw a physical picture of this, because what I like to do is have everything emanate from the center. Okay, so the drawing doesn't have to be great, it just has to be like sort of functional. So center, I'm going to put 0, 3 right here. All right, so 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once I have the center, now remember, I know it's a vertical hyperbola, so the branches are going to be here and here. Let's find the vertices. So remember, the vertices are using the letter A. So a squared is 16, which means a itself equals 4. So what I want to do is from this point, I need to go up 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where does that leave me? Well, common sense tells me that that point is going to be at 0, 7. Okay, so because remember, it's going to be in line with the center. So the first vertex is at 0, 7, but don't forget there's another one symmetrically located below. So now I have to go 4 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this point must be at 0, negative 1. Okay. So vertices figured out. So this is going to be 0, negative 1. Now my co-vertices use the letter b. And so what did we learn? We learned that b squared was 4. So b equals 2. So what I need to do is go this way 2 units. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go 1, 2. Where does that land me? That lands me at the point 2, 3. So one of my co-vertices is 2, 3. And I have to go the other way, right? So I have to go 1, 2. That lands me at the point negative 2, 3. My other co-vertex is at negative 2, 3. Okay. Finally, I need the foci. I'm just going to sort of pencil in where they are. But remember, the foci use the letter c. C squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c is equal to plus or minus the square root of a squared plus b squared. And a squared plus b squared is 16 plus 4. But that's just the square root of 20, which of course I have to simplify into 2 root 5. So the distance from the center to the foci is 2 root 5. So how do I think about that? Well, I'm going to go from this point up to here. That is a distance of 2 root 5. So what does that mean? That means that this point here is 0, right, comma 3, because this is 3 units, right? This is the point 0, 3 of my center. 0, 3 plus 2 root 5. And again, I know that looks like a weird answer, but you're going to leave that in simplest radical form. And then the other foci, right, is going to be going from this point down a distance of 2 root 5. So this is going to be 0, 3 minus 2 root 5. And I know that's a weird answer, right? But that's what you're doing from this point 3. From this y value, you're going up 2 root 5, and here you're going down 2 root 5. So my foci are located at 0, 3 plus 2 root 5. Okay, that's 1 point. And the other one is 0, 3 minus 2 root 5. I'll move my hand out of the way so you can see that. And again, you don't necessarily have to draw this in, but remember there's this like imaginary rectangle to help you out. The transverse axis is going to be this axis here. In this particular case, it happens to be the y-axis. It's going to go through the parabolas on the hyperbola. The conjugate axis is going to be this one here, okay? So if I want to get the slope of the asymptotes, here are my asymptotes, the branches of the hyperbola approach them but don't touch them, I just have to think common sense, right? Slope is rise over run. I'm going to have a plus and a minus. And in this case, my rise is A, my run is B, because I'm going vertically A units, horizontally B units. And so what are those letters? Plus or minus. I'm going to do, so B is 2, so sorry, A is 4, B is 2, but 4 over 2 is just 2. So plus or minus 2 for my slope. So I hope that's helpful. I really think the key thing is to draw this out. Everything starts from the center point. And if you can draw it out, it's easy to kind of figure out where to go. Again, don't be alarmed by these weird radicals. C often will be a radical, and so it's very common for your foci to have very strange points. So I'm hoping that's helpful. Here's again a summary of my answers. The slope here is going to be plus or minus 2, and I hope that made sense. If you have any questions at all, do not hesitate to contact me.